All right, thank you everybody for coming. We're going to call the City Council successor agency to the Redevelopment Agency Housing Authority regular meeting to order. If you'd all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I have to admit that's one of my favorite parts of the agendas, but anyway. Do we have any requests for changes to the order of the agenda, either from staff or the dais?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to request that we move item 6A till after item 7, since the person voting on this will be the new mayor, and so I'd rather wait till we have that person selected.
I don't see a problem with that. Anybody have a problem? Is there a procedurally? I think we can do that, right? Yeah. All right, then we'll do that.
And there are no additional changes from staff this evening, Mr. Chair.
All right. Next is public comment. I don't have any speaker cards, but if there's any member of the public who would like to address the council, please step forward and do that and fill out a speaker card afterwards. Seeing none, we will move on to council communications and announcements. Does anybody have anything that they would like to say? I actually have one item, and this is actually going to be for the benefit of the new mayor, whoever that is. I have a request to make, which is, should the new mayor wish to appoint me to a new position that I'm not currently in as regards serving on a JPA or whatnot, representing the council, I would like to ask that you let me know ahead of time what you want to nominate me for or ask me to serve as representative to, because I want to inquire and make sure that that agency has not entered into a legal settlement or agreement under Government Code 54-957.13b. Which those of you may remember I spoke about a few months ago. It's a provision in California law which actually allows public agencies to essentially enter into legal settlements without the public knowing about how much money has been authorized to be spent. There are technical details that have to be followed to do that. And the challenge becomes that if you start serving on such an agency, the agreements that use that provision of the law typically contain all sorts of threatening language that tries to bind public officers to not reveal any information, even if it is public information, unless and until some other member of the public finds out about it and asks about it. Since it's never been disclosed, it's kind of hard for anybody to ask questions about it. So it's just one of those things that if I get asked to serve on a commission, I'm not saying I wouldn't serve even if they had been doing stuff like that, but I at least want the opportunity to know what I'm getting into by asking them, have they done anything like that recently? So that's the only comment I had regarding that. Does anybody have any other comments they wish to make under council communications and announcements? Oh, wow, we're just marching right along here. Good. In that case, we are coming to council reorganization. The first item in this will be me calling for nominations for the new mayor. Before I do that, as is sometimes done by, not every chair or mayor does this, but I have some closing remarks that I want to provide just to sort of sum up my experience for the year. So please bear with me here. This year's been a great reboot for the council. I actually hope that all of my colleagues have had some fun with this along the way too. I mean, after all, no job is so serious that you can't enjoy doing it at least part of the time. For me, there could be no better end to my year as chair than the strategic planning meeting held last Friday. We had a great and intense discussion about the key long-term challenges facing our community. While no decisions were made, it wasn't that kind of meeting, we did start defining where we want to go. San Carlos is in the early stages of the largest wave of commercial development in its history. Jeff Maltby put it right a few years ago when he said, "We've been discovered and there's no turning back from that." It's clear from Friday's discussion to me that the council understands this. I am confident it will do what it takes to manage our future rather than have events and developers manage it for us. Because the challenge is more than just millions of new square feet of office space and thousands of new jobs, significant as those are. It's also housing and the traffic caused by widely separating jobs and homes, and a host of other things like the increased need for childcare. The CEO of a San Carlos biotech company recently told me they rejected building their manufacturing plant in San Carlos. Why? Because they couldn't pay enough to the college and graduate school level people they need to provide them with a decent quality of life. They're building it outside of Philadelphia instead. That's both startling and disturbing. The housing crisis is usually described as driving out waiters and child care providers and store clerks and elder care providers and teachers and firefighters and public work staff and police, all of whose jobs are vital to any healthy community. But we've apparently gotten to the point where high-paying private sector jobs are at risk as well. This isn't because of a nefarious plot or mismanagement. It's the result of the enormous success the Bay Area and San Carlos have achieved over the last 20 years. Tremendous success always brings tremendous challenges. The prior councils responsible for our current success could never have foreseen the rapid changes impacting us today. Because, with the possible exception of the post-World War II era, they are unprecedented in San Carlos's history. Dealing with them is the most important task currently before us, particularly because most San Carlans have reservations about the future we are heading towards. We don't want to see our vaunted public schools or city services undermined due to a lack of qualified staff. We don't want to see employers, even major ones, relocating elsewhere. If nothing else, that would harm us each as individuals in many ways. But it's more than just self-interest. We want a vibrant community that offers a home and a life to people of all sorts of backgrounds and interests. We want a place where our kids can choose to live without having launched the next Facebook or Google. We want a thriving, vibrant, living community. Figuring out how to do that will not be easy. It will require hard work and compromise. It will also require changes in the tools we use as a community to regulate and manage growth. Because having embarked upon this new phase of San Carlos's journey, the old ways of doing things, I believe, must be critically examined and likely changed if we are to mold the future into something that achieves our desires. But we can do this. This council is poised to build a future for San Carlos that the people living here today and those who come after us will enjoy. Thank you to my colleagues on a personal level very much for the privilege of chairing the council this last year. It's been far more interesting and rewarding than I expected it to be. I look forward to working with all of you as we figure out how to use the marvelous opportunity presented to us by having been discovered. And make no mistake about it, it is a wonderful opportunity, despite its challenges, as we work our way towards the undiscovered country. There are comment lights. Adam.
Thank you, Chair Albert. And I just want to say thank you for your leadership over the past year. And I think you had a sort of very rare situation of having 3 brand new council members, and so I appreciate your patience throughout this whole process as we got up to speed and learned the process, learned some of the issues more, and I certainly appreciate your patience on that. And I think looking back over the last year, I feel like we've accomplished a lot of significant issues for the city. Both on housing and some of the things you talk about, but also around the gun stores and smoking bans and other items. I think are some of them very progressive in terms of leading the way throughout the county. And I think there's many challenges ahead, as you point out, and I look forward to working with you in the next year. And congratulations.
Thank you. Ron.
Thank you, Mark. I just want to add my comments. We started on the same night. We're still here. It's been 8 years, and you've just completed your second term as mayor, and I am continually impressed at how prepared you are and how well you have run the meetings during the last year. Adam's right. We've gone through a lot of things. Managing a meeting is not easy. I've done it before, and I think you've handled it with professionalism and grace, and I'm looking forward to at least 1 more year of serving with you.
Thank you, Ron. I have to say it's been helped enormously by a certain guy sitting to my right who keeps catching me in my mistakes. So thank you, seriously. Sarah.
Thank you, Mark. I'd just like to echo my other 2 colleagues' comments. I know it's not easy to train up 3 new council members, but I agree with Adam that I feel like it was a great year, and we've all learned a lot from you, and I've appreciated your generosity with your time and all of your thoughts and your very helpful perspectives. I think you've done a great job this year, and I've appreciated your strong leadership.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And Laura?
Thank you, Chair Olbert. I also want to add my thanks to the discussion. Holding the gavel is a weighty task, and you did it extraordinarily well. You helped everybody understand the procedural wherefores, how-sos, and what to-dos, so that the city's business could be done efficiently and with great care and respectfully. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much. So with that, I will call for nominations for the new mayor for 2020.
I move to nominate Ron Collins for mayor.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, Crystal, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Collins?
Yes.
Councilmember McDowell?
Yes.
Councilmember Palmer Lohan?
Yes.
Councilmember Rack?
Yes.
And Chair Olbert?
Yes. I think I get to give up now. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. No, we have to do that.
No, I don't think so.
You're quite welcome. Here, I'll shake hands. No, you know what? I'll just take Ron's seat for now.
Okay, Councilmember Collins, if you can raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties for which you are about to enter?
I do. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Well, thank you, everyone. We are now going to have nominations for the vice mayor.
Mr. Mayor, I move to nominate Laura Palmer Lohan for the City of San Carlos Vice Mayor.
Second.
There's a nomination and a second. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none. Crystal, please call the roll.
Councilmember McDowell?
Yes.
Councilmember Olbert?
Yes.
Councilmember Palmer Lohan?
Yes.
Councilmember Rack?
Yes.
And Mayor Collins?
Yes. All right. Congratulations.
Okay. If you could raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties for which you're about to enter? Yes. Thank you.
Ourselves now, Mr. Mayor?
We can do that now, or we're going to wait till the first meeting?
Oh, whatever you want.
Maybe in January we'll do seating chart. Okay. Congratulations. Okay.
Through the chair?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Palmer Lohan, I forgot my part of this tradition, which is may God have mercy on your soul.
It's a small soul, so it's all good.
Just a couple of comments, and then we'll move on to item 6. I just want to say that for nearly every day of my 8 years in this council, I've been reminded of what an honor it is to serve the people of this town. We get emails, phone calls, handwritten letters. We even get stopped on the street by our neighbors, our friends, and fellow residents about every kind of issue. It's very humbling to know that people that we work for look to us to do what's right for this city. We have several challenges ahead of us next year and beyond. We're going to continue to work on our #1 strategic planning goal, and that's doing our part to ease the affordable housing crisis in San Mateo County. The gravity of this issue cannot be overstated. We must make progress to reduce the more than 2,000 people who are on our waiting list for affordable housing in San Carlos. This won't be resolved next year or even in the next 5 years, but we must begin to make some bold decisions. These decisions won't be easy and they won't please everybody, but still they must be done. Doing nothing will not solve the problem. Like all other cities in our county and beyond, San Carlos has evolved and grown and will continue to do so. We will continue to work to maintain the unique character of San Carlos that our residents value, but we are part of a larger community of cities that are facing many serious regional challenges, including not only more affordable housing, but transportation and infrastructure improvements and working to reduce the impact of climate change. We also have what I believe to be an amazing and extremely competent city staff from top to bottom. Few see the hard work they do every day to keep San Carlos safe, clean, functioning, attractive, and welcoming to everyone. But I see it, and I am so grateful. However, we need to be mindful of the demands we place upon them, as their effectiveness is better if we as a council are clear about our objectives, realistic about our timelines, value our staff's work, and understand their limitations. Finally, I will tell you that being an elected official is a continual learning experience, and this council is engaged, inquisitive, thoughtful, and eager to do the right thing. All of us are committed to working together to accomplish some great things, and I don't believe you could ask for a more dedicated group of public servants. So thank you, residents of this city of good living, for the privilege it is to serve you. We hope you'll continue to call us, write us, stop us in the street, and let us know what's on your mind. Thank you. Next, I would expect and hope that our new vice mayor has a few comments.
Thank you, Mayor Collins. First off, I just want to thank my colleagues for their entrusting me with this important role of vice mayor. I am honored by your support and excited about the upcoming year. I'd like to thank our community for their confidence in me and awarding me this opportunity to sit here before you and generously supporting always your ideas and concerns about our city. I also would like to thank the city staff who work tirelessly. Your innovative and ingenuity in how you get things done is a constant source of inspiration for me. And I know many of you spend tireless hours working to make the city better, and you travel a great distance sometimes to get here on a daily basis to do that. I'd like to thank Crystal Mui, our city clerk, who your role is rather quiet, but very important, and I believe you have set the high water mark for such a role. So thank you. I'd like to thank Greg Rubens. Your generous counsel and understanding of the rules, regulations, and case law has kept me grounded and well-directed this past year. Thank you. Jeff Maltby, a city manager who can lay claim to multiple superpowers, not the least of which is onboarding 60% of a new council in 1 year and doing so with great deft and skill. Thank you. And to my fellow council members, I'm grateful for your collegial, insightful, and respectful collaboration. Throughout the year, we found ways to gather and process lots of input and make priorities, which made the decision-making much more efficient in great service to our neighbors in our city. And I'd like to thank my family, Kathy, Bradley, and Gregory. If it weren't for you, I certainly wouldn't be here, so thank you. And I will echo the comments made by the outgoing mayor and the current mayor that the pace of global and local change is unprecedented. It makes decision-making more challenging and ever more important, and it also makes community input absolutely vital. I'm confident and very optimistic that by working together we can and will chart a navigable course for the growth and prosperity for everyone in our beloved village. Thank you.
I don't see any lights on, but I'm wondering if there are any other comments. Sarah.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to congratulate Ron on becoming mayor. I'm looking forward to accomplishing a lot this year with your steady hand at the helm, leading us in 2020. I also want to say congratulations to Laura. I don't have the history on vice mayors of San Carlos, but I do know that in all of San Carlos history, we have only had 4 women who have served as mayor. So Laura joins a select group of women leaders in our town, and I think it's terrific, and I want to thank her for stepping up into this role. I also want to thank our city manager and our staff. It was a big year getting so many of us up to speed, and you have worked so very hard this year. And your work is appreciated, and it makes a very big difference in our community. So thank you for your service. And I also want to say thank you to the community for staying involved and playing a very crucial role in shaping the future of San Carlos. And I hope it continues in our coming years. I'm looking forward to 2020 and tackling new challenges as we move forward. So thank you all.
Adam.
Thank you, Mayor Collins. I also want to echo my congratulations to you on your selection and look forward to your leadership this year, and to Vice Mayor Parma Lohan for her selection and her leadership on this. It's been, we have many great things to accomplish in the coming year and many great challenges, and I look forward to working with you and your leadership and supporting your efforts to make some positive changes in our community.
And Mark.
Thank you, Mayor Collins. I just wanted to echo the comments that others have made as well, congratulating you on your accession to the throne for the second time, and to Vice Mayor Parma Lohan for becoming Vice Mayor. I will say that I am really looking forward to us continuing to work together on stuff because, frankly, I think several people, starting with Adam, pointed out we did accomplish a lot in the last year. Despite the fact that this was a new council, not only with new people, but with us getting used to each other. And I think that shows what can happen when a group of 5 individuals committed to making the community a better place, even when they don't agree with each other on everything, which we do not, and that's fine. But it shows what happens when you have a commitment to making things better in San Carlos, what you can do when you put your mind to it. So that hasn't always been the case on the council, and it's very gratifying for me personally to be part of that. So thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah, just a couple of comments about this council. When we started, there was obviously, when the 5 of us started together, there was a little bit of a learning curve. And what has impressed me is how much our 3 new council members have really grown this last year. And I think it really showed through last Friday. We had a mini retreat, and the convictions of every one of them is now very solid, and they made their points well. And I realize that they've all stepped up. We're all going to continue to grow and learn, but they're no longer rookies. So I think we're going to have a very strong council, and we all have our own opinions, and I value that. And I also look forward to us working together. Before we go on to the next item, I do want to acknowledge some people in the audience tonight. First of all, we have former Mayor Don Eaton, who is good enough to join us tonight. Former Mayor Tom Davids, also here. We also have former Mayor of Belmont, Charles Stone. I think the continuing mayor of Foster City, no, they have a new mayor now. Sam Hindy is now former mayor, I guess. Okay. We also have Brian Perkins representing Jackie Spears' office, Joan Dentler representing Senator Jerry Hill's office. So. Oh, and Seth Rosenblatt, former president of the San Carlos School Board. So thank you all for coming. And I don't want to miss Ellen Garvey, who is on the Planning Commission. And so thank you for coming. And finally, my family, who is here, my sister-in-law, Donna Martin, Alan Martin, my daughter, Heather, and most importantly, my wife, Gail. So thank you all for coming. Okay, so let us move on to the item that was moved back in the agenda, item 6, which is considered.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Mr. President, I move to table item 6A.
You want to table it? Well, we do have one decision to make.
Would like to table item 6A.
You would like to table it? Well, is there a second to table it?
I'll second.
Okay, well, I guess we can just do this by voice vote. All in favor?
I'm happy to also explain myself, whatever you like to do.
Yeah, you might, because I did have some comment on that I did want to make.
First, I appreciate, thank you for the opportunity to do that. While I appreciate the good intent of this item to be inclusive and to solicit feedback for the mayor on the city selection process, I'm concerned that we're applying a static solution to a dynamic process. In the next couple weeks, people may drop out. There are floor nominations. There can be nobody nominated for an item, and then floor nominations taken. I served as a proxy vote a couple months ago on that, and all 3 of those happened in the same night. So I think it hampers the ability of the person making that vote to be dynamic and to provide the flexibility to vote in the best interest of the city on this such issue. And so therefore, I think it's better if we allow the mayor to make that decision and do that separately versus taking, while I appreciate the intent of this, I think it's a better process.
Good point. Mark?
Yeah, thanks. I guess my feeling was or is that I expect that whatever guidance the council gives the mayor or the mayor's proxy to vote on behalf of the council will of necessity in some situations have to be revised. And I have no problem with that. I do think that we had the discussion last year, and we actually used it on a number of occasions during the year, I thought to benefit, the council's benefit, as a means basically of giving the council the opportunity to express its views, its perspectives to the mayor, to guide the mayor, because the mayor is voting on behalf of the council. Personally, what I would prefer, rather than tabling the item, would be if there's a council majority that basically says, "Dear Mayor, please use your best judgment. Thank you." I would rather do that. Tabling it basically says that we're sort of not taking a position one way or another, and I think there is a position we could take here, which is to simply designate the mayor as designee to use their judgment.
All right. Adam, you want to revise your motion?
Or
you still want to table it?
No, I'd be willing to, I would be willing to take a position of requesting that the mayor use him or her best judgment on this issue. I'd be comfortable with that. So I would withdraw my motion to table and would request that that we make a motion that the mayor use in this case, his best judgment during the city selection process.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Do we need a roll call vote on that?
We should have a roll call vote.
Crystal?
Councilmember Palmer Lohan?
Yes.
Councilmember Rack?
Yes.
Councilmember McDowell?
Yes.
Councilmember Overt?
Yes.
And Mayor Collins.
Yes. Well, there you have it. Our first unanimous vote. Okay, the next item is any reflections and/or agenda setting. Does anybody have any comments they'd like to make? Sarah, your light is on.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have one thing that I meant to raise at our last meeting. I think I spoke at our last meeting that I had attended a commute.org board meeting, and Samtrans did this great presentation on an analysis that it's doing right now. It's analyzing all of its bus routes, which will result in a new bus system in 2021. And right now there's a survey that Samtrans is running called, it's at www.reimaginesamtrans.com. What I'd like to propose to the council if you are open to it, is receiving a presentation from Samtrans about this process, both because I think it would be very informative and also because we have a large number of school children that rely on Samtrans to get to school, and I think it would be great for the community to come to that meeting and make their thoughts heard as well.
Through the chair, I like that idea.
Agreed?
We can make that happen?
Yes.
I agree. Great. Thank you. One thing well, I didn't neglect to mention, I just noticed as we were sitting here that one other former mayor has come into the room, and that's Wayne Lee from Millbrae. I believe Wayne also started at the same time Mark and I started back in 2011. So anyway, thank you all. Any comments by staff or the city attorney?
I have comments, yes. First, on behalf of the staff, I'd like to thank Chair Olbert for your year of service. I've enjoyed our conversations. They tend to be wide-ranging and a lot of fun. We usually spend about 10 minutes on the agenda, and then we try to solve all the problems of the world.
No, but we're very efficient. We do all that work in 10 minutes.
That's right. That's right. We'll miss you, but I know those conversations will continue in your continuing role as the council member. So I look forward to that. Mayor Collins, we're all looking forward to your year at the helm and working with you. And anything you need as you transition and brush the rust off the gavel, we'll be here to help you out. Same for you, Vice Mayor, and the rest of the council. So we're looking forward to a very busy and productive 2020. I know we're still in 2019, but for us, I think sitting up here, we've already moved into 2020 in our planning and preparation for the year to come. So we should hit the ground running in January, and so I hope you all get new sneakers for Christmas, because you're definitely gonna wear them out.
I know my golf game's going to suffer, but it already suffers. Okay, thank you. Well, that brings us to item 9, which is the adjournment to the reception in the foyer, because I'm really looking forward to that, because I haven't had any dinner. So anyway, thank you all for coming, and this meeting is adjourned.